Take this overboard now.
What's poppin' T Squad? It's your girl Keisha, aka Color Me Pynk, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade, Love and Hip Hop Family Reunion, Season 3, Episode 2 review. I drop videos Monday through Sunday. Everything that I say is for entertainment purposes only and not to be taken seriously, meaning my joke. So if that works for you, then let's get into tonight's review. But before I begin, I want to remind you guys that I will be on vacation from the 9th through the 12th. So all of my reviews for over the weekend will be up when I return. Okay, let's get it cracking. The episode starts off with us learning that Chaotic is still in quarantine because his test results came back inconclusive. So he is still stuck up there in his room, but he's exercising and doing what he can inside his hotel room. I must say that it must be the body, because it ain't his face, because that body was giving what it needed to give. I was like, hello. Hello, how you doing? Then we see Amara and Mariah in I believe they were in Amara's room, and they're sitting down talking about what happened between Mariah and Carly. And Mariah basically like, I didn't come here to get into it with nobody, but I'm also not gonna let no bitch, chump me or whatever. And Amara just tells her, that we all grown, we too grown for this shit, and y'all just need to talk it out. And that was the God's honest truth in the matter. I 100% agreed with Amara because they all looked crazy as hell. So Tokyo is also there, but she was quarantined as well because she came in with Chaotic. So they had to quarantine her to make sure she was all right. So she been let out. So she goes to visit Amara and Mariah. They talk, and Mariah catches her up on everything that happened between her and Carly. And she basically was like, she hasn't spoken to Carly or Spice in a minute. And so she was kind of shocked that Spice invited her, but she looking at it like, we ain't got to talk every day, but we still friends. So we'll, just catch up like old times. So then we go to Scrap working out with Gunplay. They don't really know each other, so Scrap is taking the opportunity to get to know Dude, but he does say in his confessional that he really wasn't feeling the fact that Gunplay involved himself in the girls' issues the night before, trying to get them to fight. So that topic comes up, and Gunplay admitted that he a problem child and he just wanted to see a fight, which is just so ghetto and childish. And it's just like, how old are you again that you just want to see motherfuckers fight? Like, grow the fuck up. But he admits that he was wrong and that, he needs to rectify that situation. He also tells Scrap about his issues with Trick Daddy and how he needs to apologize to him as well. So, Scrap was a sounding board for him to understand, his wrongs and how he needed to make them right. Then we see Tiara Marie in her hotel room, and she's on the phone with Zell, who's not there, and she tells him about her getting into it with Alexis Sky. And Zell like, girl, that shit is old. I'm friends with both of y'all are both two beautiful girls, and it's your time to show the world that you've changed. It's your time to shine. Like, y'all just need to talk it out and just in this stupid beef. So she was like, yeah, I agree that it is silly and we shouldn't be doing this. And I'm like, the fact that he even having to tell you that it's silly is beyond me at this point. Like, how old are we again? Like, y'all are all in y'all 30s or damn near in your 30s at this point. Like, it's time to grow up. It really honestly is. But it was good to see Zell give her some positive advice, because Zell can be messy, quite messy at times. We then go to Fresher and Jen's room, and they talk about how the girls was ragging on him about his relationship opinions, and he basically say, I see why they single. They should have showed you the grass ain't greener on the other side. And I'm like, nigga, you sitting up here looking like Whoopi Goldberg's son. You need to shut up. Not even Whoopi Goldberg's son, Miss Seeley's son. You need to be happy that the bitch is even with your ass, because once again, it is the body and it is not your face. Okay, sir? And talking about, so I see why they single. Boy, you sound like a fuck nigga while you sitting up here talking about you've changed. Obviously, you have not, for you to be saying some shit like that because they was telling your ass right. Boy, bye. So he steady talking about how he's changed, and him getting robbed at gunpoint by 5 dudes really made him put his life into perspective and everything. And we learned that a few years ago, that he was robbed at gunpoint and got hit in the face with a gun, and they stole his car. And Jen tearing up because she was the first person that he called when he got his one call. And I'm like, ain't they married or were they engaged? Or I don't remember their situation, but I'm like, why you crying? Because you was the first person that he called. Like, ooh, like I'm just so perturbed by that. I didn't understand like why she felt like that was just so special that he called her first. Like, of course he was gonna call you, because like you said, you've been there through thick and thin, so he knew your ass was gonna be the person that was gonna be there for him. That's not a good thing necessarily. He just know that your ass is gonna always fucking be there. But I'm like, girl, you just as dumb as you was all them years ago when you was on the damn show. And I'm sorry, but her BBL looks horrible. Horrible. They stretched that stomach to get it as flat as they could, but her torso was just not right. It was not right, child, at all. So later on that day, it is Carnival Day, which is Amara's day to entertain and host. Everybody's dressed up in their carnival attire. The ladies are half naked and the guys have on their hoochie daddy shorts, and I was here for it. So Scrap and Alexis is feeling each other. He's flirting with her, she kind of flirting with him. Carly feeling some type of way, saying every time she with a dude, they end up liking Alexis, and she ain't here to be nobody's sister wife. I'm like, when was y'all together? That man ain't with you. What is you talking about? Like, you claiming a nigga that ain't even fucking yours. Sit your old ass down somewhere, bitch. Like, grow the fuck up. Oh my God. You are still, it's kind of sad that we 10-11 years later and Carly is still the same person that she was when Love and Hip Hop Atlanta started. Like, that is not a good thing. It really honestly isn't. So Gunplay goes over to Trick Daddy and apologizes for wrecking his Airbnb and being disrespectful, because apparently they had words with each other and it could have escalated, but Trick was like, I wasn't gonna go there with you because I know you, and like, it is what it is. I know you for who you are, and it's all good, and they make up. But I could tell by in his confessional, he was like, I wish him well, ain't no hard feelings. Trick don't fuck with him like that. Like, you done burned me once, we cool, I forgive you, but I never fuck with you like that again. And I don't fucking blame him, because Gunplay is a shifty motherfucker to me. He really truly is. So Carly tells Tokyo when she sees her that they need to talk, and Tokyo like, the fuck, like, where that come from? We need to talk. And so that right there puts Tokyo in a tailspin, because she like, basically, you need to tell me right now, like, what's the gig? Because the last time I saw you, everything was good. So she's kind of taken aback by this. So Carly in her confessional is basically saying that she tired of girls bullying her and she gonna stick up for herself. I'm like, Carly, ain't nobody bullying you. Girl, how can somebody bully you? You're like 95 years old. Please have several, please. So then Gunplay goes over to where the ladies are at to apologize for trying to incite a fight. Mariah, accepts his apology, but basically tells him like, I just would have assumed that you would have been like, come on ladies, y'all too beautiful for this, y'all ain't gotta be fighting or whatever. But they make up, but she's still looking at him like he a dirt dauber. And y'all, why Sheridan tell me that she got a crush on Gunplay? She think he's sexy, child. I was like, that cokehead, I guess, girl, them nostrils ain't got not one bit of collagen in them. Y'all let me know if y'all think Gunplay could get it, cause not me, not I, sir. Spice comes down in her costume, ready to kick it, ready to party, and she's happy to see Tokyo. You know, they're in a much better place than what they used to be. But she says in her confessional that when she told Carly that she was going to invite Tokyo, Tokyo was saying, you know, don't invite her, da 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 da. And I'm like, what's that about? Like, I thought, you know, Carly and Tokyo were cool. At one point, they was like besties or whatever. But then, you know, Carly being Carly and Carly being messy, she had to ruin they little friendship like she does every friendship that she pretty much has with folks. So Amara performs her new song. Everybody's kicking it, dancing and twerking and stuff when Shay and her brother MJ arrive to everybody's surprise and demise. Amara peeps them and her whole demeanor switched up. Like, she was shocked to see them. She did not know that they were on the invitee list. So she gets done performing and we see Shay speak to everybody and she speaks to Spice and Spike doesn't speak back to her. And I was shocked at the way Spice was behaving. I was like, Spice normally ain't messy like that. Like, what she do to you? Like, from what we know, y'all ain't got no beef. So, like, why are you refusing to speak to her and giving her dirty looks and stuff? And I was like, that's quite disappointing. I was so disappointed in Spice for acting like that because I expected more from her. Normally, she got a little taste of sense, but in this episode, she did not. So Spice is confused as to who invited them, and so is Amara. So she asks Amara, like, who invited them? And Amara was like, I didn't. Like, I don't know who in the hell invited them. So they go upstairs to one of their rooms after the day is over, and Spice asks Amara, do she still love Miss MJ? And she like, no, I do not, or whatever. I didn't necessarily believe her when she said no. I don't think that she's like, ooh, I love him, I want to be back with him, please take me back. But I do think that a part of her does still care to an extent. And I think especially after the way her baby daddy did her, she kind of like, damn, like, you know, I done had kids by this motherfucker who ain't there for us, don't do shit for my kids. I'm being mama and daddy. Hell, at least MJ would have been a great daddy and a nanny shit. I wouldn't have had to worry about him leaving us because that nigga wasn't gonna go nowhere. So, they end up, who told her? Tierra Marie ends up telling them that Mariah Lynn was the one that invited Shay. So they like, oh, like, okay. So she was the one that did it. So then we see Mariah on the balcony talking to Shay and MJ. And they tell her what's the beef between them and Amara and how Amara fucked the homie and all of this stuff. And Mariah was like, oh, shit, I didn't know any of this. Like, ooh, like, okay. So what's her name? Shay basically was on some, you know, Amara don't want nobody to know this. She keep on running from the truth. And I'm like, why do y'all care at this point? Who gives a fuck? It's over and done with. Her and MJ been broke up now for a few years. This girl got twins now. You got a whole daughter. Like, it shouldn't even matter at this point. Like, stop bringing the shit up. You and MJ, like, get the fuck over it. I understand, you know, people were hurt. Their, you know, people's feelings were hurt. But at this point, what can you do about it? But get over it at this point. Stop telling everybody that you see that this girl that fucked the homie. Woo-wee. She got kids by this nigga now. Get over it. So that night everybody gathers because Miss Nikki Baby is hosting her new by Nikki lingerie show where some of the girls and guys are gonna model, I guess, her clothes or whatever the case may be. Chaotic is on the balcony participating, scoring all of the looks. That shit was funny as hell, what he was writing on that whiteboard. So after the show, Alexis Sky apologizes to Tierra and they hug it out. And I was like, okay, good. At least somebody acting like they got a little taste of sense. So everybody's sitting around drinking. It's kind of awkward. It's tense in the air. Tokyo on edge because she feeling, negative energy and stuff coming from Spice and Carly. And Carly still hasn't told her what they need to talk about. So it's just really tense in the air. So then we see Amara ask Mariah Lynn, who did she invite to, this family reunion? And Mariah was like, I invited Shay, but I did not invite her brother. I didn't invite him, but I did invite Shay. And she tells her that, I didn't know, y'all was beefing like that. I'm totally neutral. I don't want you to think that I was on no funny shit. And people were saying online that how she didn't know that they was beefing or whatever. But I'm like, y'all got to understand that when they filmed this, Love and Hip Hop Miami was it even on the air? No, it wasn't even on the air when they filmed this. So when they filmed this, they hadn't even started airing Love and Hip Hop Miami this last season that we just got done watching. They hadn't even aired it yet. So she didn't know how deep this situation went. She wouldn't have known. So it wasn't a situation where Mariah Lynn was, trying to start no shit. She honestly did not know and was telling the truth. So, Jen then gets up, Thomas, I got something to say. They invited, Amada and Spice invited us here to have a good time and we letting them down. It's a lot of tension in the air. Da, 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 da. And Tokyo was like, girl, you got a whole husband here with you. What the fuck is you upset for? She was like, go get a toy and invite somebody to play. Tokyo was not here with the shits, honey. She like, girl, who the fuck are you? So, at this point, Tokyo gets up and goes over to Spice and Carly and was like, what's the problem? What's the problem? And Spice was like, you talking to me? She was like, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to Carly. Like, what is the issue? So Spice was like, Carly, the only person that has an issue with you. So Carly says, I told you, we would talk later. And Tokyo was like, bitch, you just seen me last year for my birthday and you were all in my face. Bitch, I don't play with you like that. And I was like, ooh, yeah, I think you just need to back the fuck up, Carly, because Tokyo was ready. Tokyo was on motherfucking go. Tokyo is so cute, but she remind me of one of the giants from Game of Thrones. I'm like, girl, you do not want to go up against Goliath. That is just not what you want. And I think at this point, Tokyo was sick and tired of Carly ass being fucking messy like she always the fuck is. And I agree. Like, you just saw me last year. You was just at my birthday party. Now all of a sudden you got an issue with me. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, stop doing shit for fucking television. Like, grow the fuck up, old lady. So Carly was like, who you calling a bitch? And Tokyo was like, I'm talking to you, bitch. So Carly was like, you said, she was like, you know what you said? We all heard you. You said that you want all the vets off the show. Everybody heard you say it. And Spice says that she did say it, but it was a long time ago when this was said. So, girl, you bringing up some shit that happened a long ass time ago. And for what? Make it make sense when, like she said, you was just at her birthday party the year before, grinning all up in her face. If you had such an issue with her, then why the fuck did you come celebrate her birthday with her? Make it make sense, girl. You once again doing shit for TV. And, what's her name? Tokyo says that she didn't say it or whatever. But even if she did, like, so the fuck what? It's a fucking reality show. Shut the hell up. Y'all act like Tokyo got any fucking power to remove y'all from the show, even if that was the case. And I hate that Tokyo even let it bother her to that point, because I would have laughed in Carly's face and it's like, girl, get somewhere and sit the fuck down. Shut the fuck up. Yep, I said it, and what? And you don't want to be my friend no more? Okay, ooh wee. I don't give a fuck. I wish she wouldn't have let it bother her to that extent. So Spice in her confessional was like, I'm disappointed that Carly and Tokyo couldn't talk like grown people. And I'm like, Spice, you the last person to talk, because you've been acting silly as fuck this whole fucking episode regarding how you was treating Shay, somebody that you don't know, ain't never did nothing to you, and you just was being so rude and mean to that girl. Spice says to them, there's just too much uninvited guests. And then she say, Shay, who the fuck invited you? And I'm looking like, Spice, have you lost your mind talking to people like that? Tom, so who the fuck invited you? Obviously production invited her. That's why the fuck she's there. Like, the fuck is you talking about? Like, I hate when they start treating these reality shows like they are really, like, in some cases, reality. Like, y'all know damn well who invited her there. Stop. Y'all knew there was gonna be some monkey wrenches in the cut. So please, let's not play that game. So Shay was like, so who has a problem with me? Because Shay at this point, like, what's up? Like, I'm trying to be grown up Shay, but y'all got me fucked up. She was like, because I think you have a problem with me. And Spice was like, I said, who invited you? And Shay was like, Mariah Lynn. So Spice turns to Mariah and was like, why you invite her if you know Amara has a problem with her? And I'm looking at Spice like, you talking about people not handling stuff like a grown up. How come you just didn't talk in a civilized manner to find out what's going on? Because if you would have taken the time just to talk calmly to people, then you would have known that Mariah didn't even know how deep this beef went between them, while you sitting up here talking to people all crazy, and you got on this fucking blue ass Smurf wig, lady. Like, make it make sense. So Tokyo at this point, she had walked off and left because she was tired of these hoes, but she came back at this point. And everybody's standing up, everybody's arguing, and Shay was like, you don't even fucking know me and got a problem with me. She talking to Spice. As they going back and forth, Tokyo ass just was looking like, oh, like she was like nervous and like some shit was about to go down. And it just seemed like she was on some shit like, before somebody jump shit off, pop shit off, I'm gonna pop it off. Ain't nobody about to sneak me. And she literally charged over and punched Carly in her shit. And I was like, oh my God. But that's what you get, Carly. You gonna learn to stop fucking with people. And next week it seemed like everybody gonna start fighting, child. A mess. I wish Tokyo wouldn't have played into Carly's shenanigans. Like, at some point you just gotta learn how to laugh in a bitch face. Like, girl, get the fuck out of here. You ain't about to fuck up my opportunity. You ain't about to fuck up my bag. Girl, fuck you. Overall though, I'm gonna give tonight's episode a B+. It was cute. It was cute for what it was. A lot of people need to grow up, but this is Love and Hip Hop. I don't know what the fuck I'm expecting. Let me know what y'all thought about tonight's episode down below in the comment section, you guys. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.